Hey there people, how are you? This is KhaazRa and this is episode, I don't remember, but you're welcome to $1 billion in sales. This is my journey to $1 billion in sales. You're with KhaazRa MaaRanu. And I'm sitting here in my home office after coming back from San Diego. So what this topic is going to be about is the last couple of months have cost me about $40,000 in online coaching expenses. This means I either went to a seminar or I actually signed up for some kind of special coaching from one of the online gurus. So here's my story. Hope this helps you out as well, and look forward. All right, so what I want to talk about first, and I have some notes here to the right of me, is my adventure. And you know, that $40K that I spent in online expenses, it does not include like travel, it doesn't include like any hotel, it doesn't include food or anything like that. And the reason I'm sharing this is not to show that these things aren't needed or how you know, it's just or exorbitantly expensive, nothing like that. It's basically to help you understand what you're going to be getting into and what's required. I wish someone would have pulled me to the side and showed me exactly what will be needed. When I got into this, I met a couple guys out. I think I went to Brenda Burchard's program and met a couple people who were big names, and I really didn't know, I didn't understand it. That was my first online you know, marketer experience, and I really didn't know. There were people selling me from the stage. I go to hear one guy who I kind of have my faith and trust in, and then someone else comes on the stage, and someone else comes on the stage, someone else comes on the stage, and they're all selling me. So I'm like, whoa, it was just like overload. I really didn't know where to go, what to do, thought it was the right thing to do. And you know, one of the main things people always talk about is take action. So, you know, why go to an event like that if you're not going to take action? So that was my thinking, taking freaking action. So here we go. I went to the 2 Comma Club coaching, I want to say in, oh, I'm sneezing here, in November. Excuse me. Yeah, I went there in November. And so I flew out to Idaho to the ClickFunnels office. I think it was about 13 to 15K. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but maybe 13 to 15K. When you add an airfare, hotel, stuff like that, you're looking at like another maybe 12 to 1500 bucks. The people were super freaking nice. Yeah, everyone in Idaho was nice, which I was surprised about because I thought I was going to go there. People were going to be walking around, you know, in hunting gear, or just, you know, it's like one of those quote unquote redneck kind of places. But it was the furthest thing from the truth. Everyone there was so freaking nice. It's a very clean place, and I really felt at home there, to be perfectly honest with you. So at the ClickFunnels office, everyone is there trying to help each other. You know, even the people who come there for the event, because it's impossible for, say, Stephen Larson, who was basically hosting the event, or even Russell, you can't help everybody out. And of course, you know, that would require another coaching fee anyway. So all the participants, like myself and people who paid to be there, they were actually really trying to help each other. So that was the goal. I haven't really kept up with many of those people. Some of the people that I've spoken to haven't done anything. When I say done anything, they haven't made any money from the program yet. But it doesn't mean the program wasn't useful. A lot of those things require time, and even Russell said it. Don't switch things up until after you made your first $1 million. And when you look at the numbers of the people who have made $1 million using webinars, it is a very, 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 very small percentage of people. I mean, like 0.004% or something like that. Super small percentage. So you really, you know, that's in anything almost, you know, you really have to rise to the top. You know, they say cream or something like that, rise to the top. So you really got to rise to the top. So a lot of people aren't really going to make money in those programs. And then so the event was really webinar focused. I mean, essentially webinar focused. I got some stuff done when I was there, but I didn't finish it, so that's on me, to be honest with you. I actually run an office, so you know, you have to really take time out for those kind of things. You have to be dedicated, and you have to know that this is going to be something you're going to either do after work, during work, or either you're not going to work and that's going to be your work. And for me, it's probably not the best way for me to make money right now is to become a technician and try to, you know, learn how to build funnels and do all the stuff in the background, because that's not really where the money is. As a matter of fact, most of the people who build funnels have, or who sell funnels, they have someone else building the funnels while they sell the funnels. That's where the actual money is. So that definitely wouldn't be something smart for a guy like me who has employees, who has sales consultants that he works with. For me to just drop everything, the bread and butter, to now start trying to become a technician, probably would be going against everything that Michael Gerber talks about in the book E-Myth. But Stefan is great. He's great. Russell is great. Had a chance to meet him as well. I mean, just, genuine guy. I mean, really, they both are like really genuine guys that want to help you, but they're businessmen at the same time, and I respect and appreciate that. I think Russell's probably one of the masters at marketing and making offers. Offers are something different than just a product. An offer is something that someone can actually, it's a benefit as a result of using the product. The product is just a pair of sneakers, but an offer is like, you buy these sneakers and now you're going to run faster, you're going to jump higher, something like that. If you think, you look at Nike, I mean, Jordan did great wonders for Nike in terms of their brand, because it became more than just a product. It became more than just sneakers. It became, just do it. It became Michael Jordan dunking on everybody and being able to move fast and things like that. So, a product could be a couch, but an offer is, the couch makes you feel so comfortable when you're at home. It allows you to sit, lay with your wife, or, if you're a woman, with your husband and your children. Everyone can have family time on the couch. That is a great offer. An offer could also be, you buy this couch, you also get this chair, right along with us, servicing it. So all these things are considered offers as opposed to just products. And I think Russell Brunson really, really brings that home, and why it's important to have an offer and not just a product. And the next step is for me to actually implement the webinar, which requires some time, definitely, but you have to implement the webinar. So you go out there, you get the information, you get on the computer, you do what you got to do, but that's just half of it. You still have to put the webinar out there online. You have to schedule it. It can be pretty exhausting, and you have to pay. Facebook is not just going to offer your webinar for free out there. So these things do cost, right? In terms of support, you can get support. You can, and I'm just sharing my experiences here. You can get support through the Facebook group. You can't call ClickFunnels. You can't call Stefan. You can't call Russell. None of that will happen. You basically get the information from the peers who've paid into it as well, or you can pay someone to do it. And or you can go to the Facebook group, and hopefully somebody can understand, somebody knows how to help you. And then also there's weekly I guess you can call them discussions with Stefan, where he can kind of break some things down for you. Then the next step is, I went to a certified ClickFunnels partner to build a funnel for my company to help us recruit, because recruiting can be really expensive. And also, when you recruit, a lot of times, a lot of the people who you bring in, everyone claims they can recruit, everyone claims they're a master, but it's different when you're recruiting salespeople who are 100% commission. To recruit for someone to work at Sprint, it comes with the hourly pay, it comes with commission plus hourly benefits, vacation. I think you can find anybody to do that. But to find someone to work as a sales consultant with 100% commission, that is a different scenario. So we've been going through recruiters like I don't know what, and most don't really know, most have not been able to recruit. We've had one person who was somewhat decent at it, but it took him a year and a half to understand it. Once he found out and finally began to understand it, then he went an automatic 15 to 20K raise, because he says that is what recruiters make, regardless of all the money that had been paid before that, where nothing was going on. So we want to try to get away from that old model, because it doesn't really work. So I met up with a certified ClickFunnels partner, and I won't mention the name, but initially I thought it was 4K, right? And maybe I didn't read it properly, but it turned out to be 12K once it was all said and done. And it's about 3 pages, nothing fancy. You can get the images from ClickFunnels. And the copy and the scripts will come from me, mainly. I would get some assistance, but they would mainly come from me. And, I had to, so I think we started around September, October, got 4K charge, then another 4K charge that I didn't even really recognize. And then when I went out of the country, my wife and I were lucky enough to go to Thailand, another 4K came through, and the bank partner who we worked with like flipped out. Was like, wait a minute, I know you guys aren't going to be paying 12K for 3 freaking pages. It almost messed up our relationship with them, to be honest with you, because they're like, no way, because I'm in payment processing, and the banks see frequently a lot of online marketers, and hopefully some of you out there are listening, who receive tons and tons of chargebacks. I mean, it's almost as bad as credit repair with online marketers in terms of the number of chargebacks they're getting. And a lot of times it's because they're not clear initially. It's like, you know what, all right, it's just 3K. But then it's 3K initially, or 4K or 5K, and then it's going to be like another 10K, afterwards. And no one wants that kind of surprise. So when the bank partner saw that, and my business partner in particular, boom, it automatically created an issue. And it's kind of hard to explain 3 pages. I don't care how great the funnel, I don't care how good it is. Well, it doesn't even matter how good it is, because we hadn't even used it yet. It doesn't matter how fancy 1, 2, or 3 pages are. It's going to be kind of hard to justify 12K. Although the concept of a funnel definitely needs to be understood. So working on that still to the present moment. And it's interesting because that means there's still no ads with the funnel, which is not included. And there's a whole bunch of things that need to be done. And after that, once you begin to implement that funnel, if you need assistance, now you're looking at billable hours, almost like an attorney. So you're probably looking at another 10, 12K just for a 3, 4, 5 page funnel. And most people are going to have an issue with that. So I think that's one of the reasons why in the online world, a lot of people are getting these huge chargebacks, because it's not necessarily clear exactly what's going on. And no one, again, wants to be surprised with charges. So the next step is I flew out to Vegas to meet up with Stephen and James. And like I said, I go to the end with Stephen as far as what I know about him. And that was about an $800 trip. It was a 1-day seminar, 2 or 3 hour meeting. And looking at about 7K for that, paying about 3K so far. And and it's probably on my end, but whenever you meet up with someone and you're consulting with them, it's not really on them. It would be great if they could do it, but it's really not on them to take notes and keep you informed and keep an audio of the conversation. It's really not up to them to do that. And so basically I paid over 3K and I really don't have anything. So I can't really say that I've gotten value. I can't say that I didn't get value. I guess I can say that because I have nothing, and I still have to pay another 3K or almost 4K actually before I even have a product that I can even begin to work on. And once I have that product, I still won't be able to use it because I'm not a technician. It has to have copy in it. There's a ton of things that need to be placed in there. So it's almost like having a car maybe without an engine, or maybe having a car with an engine without seats and steering wheel and a radio and all other kind of good stuff. So just keep that in mind. If you're on the client side like myself, make sure you record everything. You're super thorough about it. Don't think of that maybe they're going to do it, or maybe there's going to be another meeting where all this is going to be brought together. Take it upon yourself to make sure you do that yourself. And if you're on the marketing side, then why not do it for your client? It's just recording it and creating a sheet for them so that they have more information to go to the next phase. And it would be good also if they knew what would happen after that phase. Just to have funnels, what is it? Anyone can have a funnel, but to be able to implement that funnel even further, that's what's key. So right now what we're doing is we're just trying to figure out a long-term strategy. Once we get these funnels, who's going to work the funnels for us? We're going to hire somebody. We're probably going to end up hiring someone to do it. But we want to know what we're doing, short-term, long-term. We want to be able to afford it. And if we're going to have consultants on board, it probably needs to be someone who's around very frequently and not someone who really probably doesn't have a whole lot of time. So there's something to keep in mind. And so basically we're looking for like a one-stop shop, and so far, like I said, everyone has been somewhat accessible, but after the sale, I don't know, that's another case. So you want to keep that in mind too. If you're on the client side, you want to think about once you get this funnel, then what happens next. You're not a technician, so you're going to have to hire a technician, so make sure that you're not surprised and you know what happens next. They may tell you right off the bat, hey, it's going to cost X, Y, Z, and if it's going to cost that, then you know whether or not to move forward. It'd be good to even get that information before you even meet the first time. That's what I would do. The next phase is I went to sign up for Social Media University through Rachel Pedersen, and it's only $49 freaking, and I got more information from her, believe it or not, and I paid $10K and all kinds of money for social media. I got more information from her than I got from the other groups in terms of social media, which was super freaking interesting. I thought that was like really weird. I went to her for Instagram, which she's not really an expert on Instagram, but in terms of the overall concepts of social media, I think she's pretty good with that. And then I signed up for another fast track program from her, which I think is really good to, she motivates you and gets you into doing something. So Billie Jean is Marketing went there, and for my daughter and I think we spent about total maybe $1,400 to go to this event. The event was great. We had great speakers. They gave really good information. Chris Records was there. Mike RC, I think the other guy's name is John or Josh, I can't remember his name, and I forget the lady's name, but really good speakers to give us some really good actionable information. Also, one of the guys there who was not into internet marketing at all, his information was freaking awesome because it was about how to live a great, healthy life. And it wasn't talking about necessarily eating per se, but just the overall concept of what are we doing? Are we just chasing dollars or not? And I think that is super freaking key, especially because everyone's pushing money, 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 money. That is how you go down a really, really slippery slope in terms of having a very depressing and digressing life. So, at the Billie Jean is Marketing, it's really great info, like I said, and there's a lot of people there who actually want to help you. Whether they can help you or not is another thing, but they actually want to help you. And so that's a good thing. They have this like genius network of people. So I considered he offered a program to actually build to create a video for you with scripts, editing, using his office the whole nine for about $5K, I think. But they help you do everything. And, of course, it probably doesn't cost that much, but you're paying for the expertise as well, which is key, which is very, very, very key. But it's still also, that even requires someone to manage it after the fact. So who's going to do that, which is key? Is it going to be me? Is it going to be someone else? So that's something that you also have to consider, because once you get these things, and like I said, we're not talking about, procrastinating here, but you just don't want to jump in, because once you jump in, then, and you find out that you don't know what the hell you're doing, then what? That's when you start getting taken advantage of, because you become desperate. And you start paying this person, that person, this person, that person. Everyone's going to take your money, I'll tell you that now. But if you can find someone who can actually be there with you after the sale, that is key. And that's one of the things that I found with the Billie Jean is Marketing group, is that, I've purchased programs from other people, and, once you purchase the program, it's like, man, it's almost like a one-night stand. There's no more relationship, because everyone's talking about value, 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 but there is no value until after the product or service has been used. How can you provide, there's only a certain amount of value you can provide, to be honest with you, before the product or service is used. The true value, now I'm not talking about the emotional sale, but the true value is provided after the product or service is used. That is when the true value is provided. I don't see, it's almost like a date. And you go out on a date, and men can be very good at this. You take her out to eat, and you wine her and you dine her. Those are like the things that you do to just to get her there, so to speak, right? But you really haven't done a whole lot. You just and sometimes, unfortunately, women fall for it, and this becomes the hit it and quit it kind of scenario. The true value of that man comes after. Oh, what the heck is this on me? after the relationship has begun. You know, how are they? Do they remain the same way they were when you first met them? Are they still opening doors? Are they still wining you and dining you? Are they still the gentlemen that they were initially? Or were you googly-eyed and caught up in the emotion of that night, not realizing he may only have $100 in his bank account? You know, he may have looked good that night. He may have not been rude that night. The dude could be crazy, could be schizophrenic. You know, who knows? So a lot of times we get caught up in these kinds of sales, and I think a lot of people who are in sales or online marketers in particular, they think that they're providing a ton of value before the sale, when these are things that are provided. These are just pitches to get the sale. There's no value that has been transferred besides you giving them money. So if I give you $10,000 or $5,000, how did you give me any value? You know, I've been sold because I'm hoping to get value, and I think that needs to be reversed a little bit. I've been sold because I'm hoping to get value. There hasn't necessarily been any value that has been transferred from, you know, the you to me so far. So I would like to keep that in mind even when I go forward, and also to hopefully help other sales consultants understand that as well. So one good thing I like about the Billy G and his marketing group is that there is follow-up afterwards. They don't just disappear off the planet. They're not sitting behind a computer, you know, creating these programs and then going off to Tahiti somewhere and you never hear from them again. So that is somewhat of a, it's a little bit different, you know, it's a little bit different program, and I kind of like it, to be perfectly honest with you. So that's what we're considering here, to be honest with you. Because we do have a full-fledged business that requires all different levels of support. I'm not a technician. I'm not trying to be a technician. And if you read the book E-Myth by Michael Gerber, he talks about that. You know, he talks about the manager, the technician, and the entrepreneur. You cannot be all of them at the same time unless you're living at home with your parents, living at home with your girlfriend, someone's taking care of you, or maybe you work a full-time job, you come home and you just buckle down and you do all this other stuff. And when you have customer service issues, I don't know how you're going to handle them, but because you're going to be at work or sleeping or doing something else, unless you're just going to be working all day, and then only sleeping. That's the only way you can truly effectively handle that. But you know, I'm not here to say that you shouldn't do it. This is just my personal experience. And the lesson here, for me, if you're a business owner already and you have employees and sales consultants and you have a full-fledged business, just know that there's more to it than just buying a course or paying for an online coach and then stepping away. It's a way. Most of them aren't going to do it for you anyway, and they're still going to charge you a pretty good penny. That does require for you to be there as well and to be involved. So keep that in mind, and if you're an online marketer or a salesperson, keep in mind that, you know, look at it not just from your perspective. Look at it like, you know, what value am I giving this person? Okay, good. Maybe you give them some value initially. Maybe you told them how they can do something, how they can get something fixed. But the true value happens after the sale. Not before, but after the sale. So hope this helps. Look forward to seeing you on the next episode. This is KhaazRa. Be good. Bye-bye.
Try to reach this billion. Thank you for listening.